Hello and welcome to the tutorial for the explosion in the movie Distortion. In this tutorial we are basically just going to do the explosion of the body. We are not going to go in depth as to the blood spatter or anything else. So we start off with a new composition and have our movie clip. And the first thing we're going to do is duplicate the layer by pressing Ctrl D. And then we are going to move along the line up to right before I'm about to duck to disappear. And we are going to make a mask around So if you solo the layer, you will see that we just have a cutout. And now we want to freeze frame this point. So we're going to choose layer, time, freeze frame. Okay, and now we have frozen a frame. We have a frozen frame of this entire layer. Now we're going to pre-compose it, and by going to layer, pre-compose, remove all attributes and hit OK. And then we are going to pre-compose it again, going layer, pre-compose. This time leave all attributes and hit OK. Now we're going to double click so we can go inside our composition, and basically we want the person to shatter into pieces, and to do this we are going to use the pixel poly effect. So if you type in pixel poly, you will get it and drag it onto your layer. So this pretty much creates a shattering effect, as you can see. Now we are going to start off by putting the grid spacing down, which makes the pieces a lot smaller. We're going to turn up the direction random about there. Turn up the force. So as you can see, they fly farther now. And turn up the gravity a little bit. Yeah, about there. And you can see that they fall to the ground faster. Okay, now we are going to duplicate the layer by hitting Ctrl D again. We're going to hide the top layer and just work with the bottom one. And we are going to turn the grid spacing back up. So now we have bigger chunks. We are going to turn the force down. I think that should be good. Yeah, and now they fall down faster. And turn the gravity up a little bit more. Yeah. And maybe even turn down the rotation just a little bit. Yeah. Now, so we don't want to have this paper-like effect on our person. We want them to look more gory and bloody. So to fix the edges, we are going to use the roughen edges effect. So drag that onto your layer. And as you can see now, they look more like chunks rather than perfectly straight pieces of paper. And we're going to want to add a little tint to make it more bloody and gory. So go to Effect, Color Correction, Tint, and we'll change the map to black to a nice dark red. Maybe bright. That should be good. Okay. So if you turn back this layer back on, we see we've got like the bigger chunks falling down and the smaller ones breaking apart. Now we're going to take our layer and duplicate it, hitting Control D. And for this one, we are going to turn the grid spacing down, have little smaller pieces, and we are also going to turn the force up. So if you watch this all together, you should have something like that. And now we are going to want to have a blur on top of the entire composition. So we're going to go to Layer, New, Adjustment Layer. And on this layer we are going to use the Force Motion Blur effect. So just drag that on, and you can see that there's a blur as the pieces fall down. Now if we just play this in real time, okay, so that is pretty much a simple explosion. As you can see, we have like the red bigger chunks falling down harder, whereas the small ones go out further. Now if you want to make it more realistic like in the movie, you are going to want to add some more stock footage of blood or stuff that you can try and find on the internet. And you're going to want to put the blood at the point of the explosion. But we are not going to go into that detail. So that is basically how you explode a person. Thank you for watching this tutorial.